I wanted to bring today's episode to the podcast talking about having a team of fertility experts. And so many times on the fertility journey, we follow generalized guidelines. We perhaps may self-prescribe, and we may be just generally confused and overwhelmed with what we need to do next. So today I'm talking about our Fab Fertile method and really how this method can help improve your chances of pregnancy success or increase your chances of a successful outcome at IVF with your own eggs. And so excited for you to listen to today as we dig into what could be missed and how do you improve your chances of pregnancy success. Hey everyone, excited to announce that Get Pregnant Naturally is now turning into a daily show. So we're still going to have our Monday show where we're going to have a deeper dive with functional medicine experts, natural fertility experts, mind-body experts, really interviewing the very best so that you can have the tools you need to help you improve your chances of pregnancy success with your own eggs. And now from Tuesday to Friday, we are going to be turning our show into a Q&A show. So we are taking your questions. This is called Ask the Fertility Experts. I'm going to be recording the answers to your questions with a member of my team. So Dr. Tabitha Barber, she's triple board certified in obstetrics, gynecology, menopause, and functional medicine. We are taking your questions live on the show here. So if you've got a question, all you need to do is go to Fab Fertile Inc. That's my Instagram, Fab Fertile Inc. Instagram. Send me a DM, send me your question. Dr. Tabitha and I will answer your question live here on the podcast. We can either, use your name, your first name, or you can just have an anonymous question. You just let me know. And so excited to really give you benefits of having a set of eyes here on your questions so that you can improve your chances of pregnancy success. And take care. I regularly speak with 5 to 10 couples per week who are struggling to have their baby. And although we want to help everyone, we only have 4 spots available per month to work with us. I would like to invite you and your partner to a Supercharge Your Fertility Discovery Call. And this call is for you if you meet at least one of these criteria. You've been trying to get pregnant for at least 2 years. You've been through at least one failed IUI or IVF. This call is for action takers. If you're not ready and you wait, the risk is you'll need to wait 2 to 3 months for a spot to open up. If you're seriously considering working with us, go to Fab Fertile, F-A-B Fertile, and click on Book a Free Call. That's Fab Fertile, F-A-B Fertile, and click on Book a Free Call. Then you'll be all booked in and ready to spend 30 minutes to give you the action plan to getting pregnant naturally. There's a lot of information about which supplements are right for fertility. And like most couples I speak with, you are probably taking a lot of supplements. But are these supplements optimizing or harming your fertility? That's why we recommend professional grade supplements without harmful dyes, fillers, or top allergens so that you can prepare your body in the best way for pregnancy. And as you may know, we take a functional approach to fertility. And while supplements are included in your customized protocols, which are based on testing, they are only part of the equation because there's no pill you can take that will out-supplement the basics, such as poor diet, dysregulated sleep, either moving too much or not enough, and not dealing with chronic stress. So we do recommend basic supplements for both men and women. And these are essential starters that you need to have right now to optimize your preconception health. And I'm excited to offer you a special discount at our Fab Fertile store. You'll receive 15% discount on our professional grade supplements. So simply go to Fab Fertile Store. That's F-A-B fertilestore.com to access the basic supplements so that you can prepare your body for pregnancy success without wasting time and money on supplements that may not be right for you. Go to Fab Fertile Store, that's fabfertilestore.com, and save 15% on your order. Hey there. Thanks so much for listening to the Get Pregnant Naturally podcast. And I've got a favor to ask you. If you are enjoying learning about the functional approach to fertility, consider going to iTunes and rating and reviewing the podcast. This is how it helps the show reach more people that are struggling with infertility, knowing that there's another approach that really can get to the bottom of why it's not working in the first place. So all you need to do is, if you're on the app or the desktop, just go in and consider leaving a 5-star rating and leave a review. And there is step-by-step instructions in the show notes showing you exactly how to do that. So if you can just take a few minutes, just take a few minutes right now. You can pause this recording, come back, leave the review. It would really mean the world to me and help others that are on the fertility journey as well. Take care. I didn't need to go to donor eggs. Obviously, I don't regret it. I have beautiful children. I could have done things differently, restored. I was still cycling back in my 20s. I could have looked at my health, the environmental toxins, the stress I was under.
Many, many women are being told their eggs are too old. That's often merely an assumption that's not based on actual evidence. The reason being that there is no direct test of egg quality. You can't test egg quality.
It's the man who's got a food sensitivity or he has a zinc deficiency.
Like there can be a root cause to these symptoms that are, quote unquote, period problems, that the doctor will pass you a pill without any question of why.
And some part of you knows that if you can reframe your journey from not want to struggle, or if it is struggle, learn how to embrace the struggle. Learn how to embrace it.
Most conditions in the child occur during the 9 months of development. It's the genetic switches are turned on or turned off, and they're pre-programmed. So you are in such a powerful, amazing position to do amazing things for your kids.
Why is IVF the first step? Because we believe it should be the last step. Welcome to Get Pregnant Naturally, where functional medicine and natural fertility solutions will help you get pregnant and have your baby. Hey there, I'm Sarah Clark, founder of Fab Fertile and your host. I believe the functional approach is the first step for anyone on the fertility journey, and my aim is to help you get pregnant naturally. Today, we're digging into how having a fertility team can help improve your chances of pregnancy success. So this episode is for you if you're following generalized guidelines and you're not sure what to do next. You want a proven plan, but are unsure about what to do to improve your chances of success because you've already made so many changes, but nothing has worked so far. You're ready to get pregnant and have your baby, and you're thinking IVF is your next best option, but you want to know how to increase your chances of a successful transfer. Thanks so much for listening. I'm so thankful that you're here. Make sure you hit subscribe. And if you know someone else who is on the fertility journey, please share this podcast with them. Hey, everyone. So, if you are like me, when you're going through the fertility journey, it can be really isolating, confusing, frustrating, heartbreaking, sometimes all at once. If you're following me here and you may have heard my journey, I had both my kids with donor eggs. I was diagnosed with premature ovarian insufficiency at 28. And then years later, discovered food sensitivities, gut infections, chronic stress, really devoting my time to help couples with low AMH, high FSH, diminished ovarian reserve, or premature ovarian insufficiency get pregnant naturally or improve their chances of pregnancy success. And as part of our Fab Fertile method, I really developed a team approach with this, bringing in fertility experts to really help you take a mind, body, spirit approach to this. Because only doing one facet of this, either mindset or diet or the hope or belief side of things, looking at the biochemical things, only if you just select one of those, which sometimes we find people do, like they're just working on the mindset, which is in itself is massive and huge and can still work and help with your cortisol levels. But maybe you've missed the fact that you have a food sensitivity, or maybe that you've got, a parasite, or maybe your thyroid's been off. So we really bring it all together, and including a team. As part of the Fab Fertile method, you have access to a fertility coach. And so the fertility coach is really your cheerleader, the person that's going to, motivate you, help you get out of your own way and help you be able to see a path forward towards pregnancy success. Because many times, if you're like me, you got that diagnosis, like I didn't even get a second opinion. I, received the diagnosis at 28, was given the brochure to the fertility clinic, went on a list for donor eggs. And, luckily enough, I was fortunate enough to have both my children that way. But, it was a struggle, and it took many years. I don't want you to struggle like I did. That's why I developed this method and then developed this team. So for you with the fertility coach, it helps you, fast track your success, really guidance from an expert. So you could be doing some of those, generalized recommendations, which could be good for someone, but are they good for you? So the coach is really helping on limiting beliefs. Sometimes we just have the thing stuck in our mind that this will be hard. Our body is broken. It'll never work. We could be like self-sabotage. We see that all the time where sometimes at the beginning of a program, even before we start, there's self-sabotage going, I don't know if I can do that. It's going to be too hard. I don't have the time. all these different excuses that we may have, which kind of, goes under the umbrella of self-sabotage. And then maybe about 2 weeks in, when we're like, because the first 2 weeks we're like, oh, this is great. We're making all these changes. Good. I can do this. Then all of a sudden, ooh, this seems hard. I don't know if I want to do it. Or, and then the excuses start coming up, or, life gets in the way. So you start to see these patterns of self-sabotage. And then we also see in the middle where you're like, oh, I finally got this thing. I'm starting to feel awesome. Things are good. And then, whoop, you have a little slip. So it's interesting, because we all have these slips, and it's not about you being perfect. It's, having someone call you out on that. And it's not kind of like, oh, wait a minute. In times of uncertainty, in times of stress, what's your default? Do you start like I used to do, looking for plan A, B, C, and D, because the one I'm doing right now seems too hard or it's not working. I want it to go faster. So we, have a coach that really helps call you out on your own stuff. And, as a coach myself, I have my own coach to call me out on my own stuff. So it is interesting as I never thought I would ever need a coach, but it turns out I need many of them. So it just helps in all aspects of my life. It can be really effective to help you, as you say, fast track your success, seeing those patterns, help with that to eliminate overwhelm. Like we see this a lot, obviously there's fertility superfoods, and you could be doing yoga and meditating all day long and, trying to work with your doctor to figure out the biochemical issues, if there's blood sugar or thyroid, and pulling all of that together can be overwhelming, as well as, obviously if you're working and dealing with life. I'm reading a book right now called Burnout, because many of us, I think when they were doing the research for this book, no one asked, when they asked women, what's burnout? No one said, I don't know what that is. Everyone's like, oh yeah, burnout. I probably had that once in my life. Or like I had it at one point where my mailbox was across the street. Actually, when I was on the fertility journey, and the thought of going over to the mailbox, like walking across the street, it was like one last thing on my to-do list that I couldn't even think of doing. I was just burnt out and needed to pull back. And in the past, I'd always just like, let's just keep going. I will keep running and, forcing things and moving forward, which is good. That's my strength, but also, to what detriment to my own health. So now I can kind of see where I go off track, and if I've gone too much, and I'm like, okay, I gotta start pulling back, and my body starts to show me in fun ways that, my neck starts to get really tight. I feel cranky. I just want to go to, I'm tired in the middle of the afternoon, sort of things like that, where my cortisol is not in a good place. And then my hair starts to fall out. So yeah, it's, we can really start to see our patterns. So really having a coach helps you along the way, helps with that overwhelm, like with the work piece too. We're coaching type A busy professionals. So it is interesting with, where you're working, 50 hours a week or more, and then you just throw yourself into your work and then not taking any time for yourself, which is huge. So it is about the small changes you do every day that amount to huge change. And so, as we say, the fertility coach is your cheerleader and the guide that really helps keep you on track. And then on the fertility journey, there's specific triggers and situations that are unique to the fertility journey that if someone hasn't experienced it, they just may not get it. They may not get the fact of like seeing a family could be painful, seeing obviously a pregnant belly, having your best friend announce their pregnancy to you. All of these things are uniquely triggering, and then also how it impacts your relationship, either bringing you, together, closer together, or tearing you apart. And that's why we will coach couples, because it's important for both partners to give voice to these feelings. And also, so the fertility coach then will help you implement. So we have a nutrition practitioner. They'll develop the plan, and I'll talk about her role in a minute. But then the fertility coach helps you make these changes, helps you follow along with the plan, the targeted diet and lifestyle changes of looking at sleep and diet and movement and mindfulness, not all at once, but we, as I say, those small changes every day. So that's part of our team. So a fertility expert you'll have access to. And then the functional nutrition practitioner. So this person is one who, this is part of your team. So she will develop the roadmap or action plan for you. So after reviewing your functional lab tests, so we have tests included in our FabFertile method, as well as blood chemistry review, not to diagnose, but to educate. and also looking at semen analysis through functional reference ranges. And so the nutrition practitioner develops the targeted plan for you. Again, those generalized recommendations may be right for someone. Many of us, many people I speak to have read It Starts with the Egg. Definitely check out my podcast episode I did on what to do after you've read It Starts with the Egg. But many people have made some of those changes in that book, and some of those changes are great, but are they right for you? So this just tweaks it, and that way you can fast track your success, because we see a lot of wasted time and mistakes where people are doing something that was like a general recommendation, self-prescribing, but is it right for you? So with this method, it's very personalized recommendations based on testing, and really gives you that clear plan or roadmap forward with all the different factors, looking at diet, nutrition that's right for you, sleep, optimizing that, looking at dealing with stress, be it from environmental toxins or mental, emotional stress, and looking at movement too. So all of those are key to be able to help balance your hormones. And, if you either get pregnant naturally, or if you do need to go to the clinic, you've addressed the biochemical, the mental, emotional issues, and then that can help you get pregnant with your own eggs. Yeah. So having that nutrition practitioner looking at all aspects, developing the roadmap, and then having your coach help you implement it is really part of our method. As again, we're talking about a team approach. So assembled other fertility experts to help you. If we identify issues that we're seeing, like flagging issues, wait a minute, there's a pattern going on, or something that we think for you to dig into. So as part of our team, we have a therapist. She specializes in fertility and can help with couples coaching, with couples therapy. Many times, like most of our couples are in love, they want to have their baby. And many times there could be stress in the relationship because of this, or they could be fighting. They could be, they could have been trying for years and years, and this has just really negatively impacted their relationship, which is completely normal. So it is important to get support with that. So we have a therapist. If coaching, if we feel coaching is, you need more support on top of that. Also with therapy, if someone, coaching helps you really see a path forward, but maybe there could be depression, obviously situational depression or situational anxiety related to the fertility diagnosis itself. Therapy can be very helpful for that as well. So that's part of our team. And then also, so as part of our team, we have a weekly meeting where we meet with our nutrition practitioners. And as part of our team, we also have an OBGYN. She's triple board certified in obstetrics, gynecology, menopause, and functional medicine. And she's a doctor, but not your doctor, but basically having all eyes on a case and really, how do we improve pregnancy success outcomes? Yeah, looking kind of that no stone left unturned approach. And with the functional approach is really taking the best of conventional and really, diet and lifestyle integrative changes, marrying them both together. So sometimes, if we see the thyroid's off, then we recommend that, that you see your physician, and you may need to look at medication as well as doing those diet and lifestyle changes. Or maybe there's blood sugar issues and, something else is recommended there as well. Or maybe like if you have low AMH or high FSH, sometimes bioidenticals or hormone replacement therapy is recommended, also in conjunction with doing some of the diet and lifestyle changes. So these are things that, we look at your case and deep dive on the health history, and then, take it to our team. And so that's that team approach, where people are able to raise concerns and really say, wait a minute, has someone looked at this? Let's look at that. And so having a physician as part of our team is key to success as well. Another one we have here is emotional freedom technique. And this can be helpful to actually identify trauma. And if you're on the fertility journey and you view it as traumatic, then it is, right? So to be able to reframe some of these emotions and things that you're going through, actually with EFT helps to pinpoint it and then move it out of the body quite effectively. So it's like those subconscious beliefs where, we may have been told by a well-meaning reproductive endocrinologist that, donor eggs are our only option. We will struggle. This is going to be hard. And sometimes it's hard for us to see a path forward. So EFT can be really helpful, which is emotional freedom technique, tapping, and just it taps on meridian points and then helps to move some of that that stuck beliefs, because these can, as I say, impact your physiology and causing stress in the body. And then as part of our team, we have an exercise coach too. Many times people are either doing too much exercise, like super vigorous exercise, and not enough. So neither one of those is recommended. So we're going to develop a customized exercise plan for you. So we have one of our fertility experts is a exercise coach specializing in fertility. So those sort of things to be able to put a plan together, so then you can see what exercise is right for you. And all the exercise piece is all about, well, how do you feel at the end of it? If you're doing maybe some vigorous exercise right now, and we're going to ask you to slow down, are you like, no way, I can't do it? Well, that's a clue for you to lean into that piece that, is that adversely impacting your cortisol levels, which are then impacting your sex hormones. And so all we ask is that you have an open mind. And then, as we're saying, it's the Fab Fertile method. It's a mind, body, spirit approach. And so we have mindset support there, obviously with your coach, with EFT, with therapy, and then the spiritual side of things. There's spiritual consults. So as part of our team, we have either a distance Reiki session and this really helps to tune into your intuition. For you, if it's the universe or God, whatever it may be for you, to tune into your intuition, know that, in your heart of hearts, this will work, that your baby is there, right, waiting for you, the spirit of your baby. That can really help give people a sense of peace. I know the spiritual component for me is personally, it just keeps me grounded or rooted, less kind of agitated, frustrated, or, that impatience. So some of those themes we see with couples are the impatience. I think the fertility industry sort of perpetuates that impatience side of things, that, you've got to hurry, that, time's running out, that, you've got to move to donor eggs. You have to do this cycle right away. And it just it causes a sense of panic. Our whole thing in the Fab Fertile method is to get you in the parasympathetic state, so that rest and digest, and get you out of that fight or flight where you're like shoulders are against the ears and you're in panic mode. So a spiritual consult can really just keep you grounded and have you be able to see a positive outcome. So that's one of our team members. And then also we have, if sometimes people, they don't resonate with Reiki, so distance Reiki. So there's also an option for people to do a faith-based consult. So this is a Christian one. There's other options as well, but basically looking at scripture, verses from the Bible that can help deepen your faith, lean into that, and help as you're on this journey to deepen your faith. Because sometimes we may have felt that, we've been abandoned, or, we're being punished, whatever it may be. And then also in itself, going to a place of worship could be triggering, because it's typically lots of families and children. So maybe you've pulled away from that. So this is a consult with our team member who is an expert in fertility and faith. These consults really help to, again, help you see a path forward and see a positive outcome, especially if you're feeling that uncertainty and comparison can be really hard with people, really in all aspects of life. The comparison, the thief of joy. So how do you just focus on yourself? You know your body best, and really listen to the signs, know in your heart of hearts that you will be a mother, that you are fertile, that, your body can do this. That piece helps with just getting into that knowing space, which creates a sense of calm. Yeah. And so to have that team approach, so you have your fertility coach, you have your nutrition practitioner. As you say, as part of our team approach, we include an OBGYN with a functional medicine background. So she's a doctor, but not your doctor, having, her eyes, and our team, eyes, the nutrition practitioner and coach on your case. And then those other practitioners that can help with that mind, body, spirit approach, the exercise coach, a spiritual or a faith-based approach, therapy if needed, emotional freedom technique. Obviously not all at once, that's overwhelming. That's too much, but we bring it in as we see the need for it, and really help. All of this it's really a life-changing program that's going to help you, prepare your body for a baby. And this is with your partner. We're focusing on low AMH and high FSH, diminished ovarian reserve, premature ovarian insufficiency. And these can be devastating diagnoses. I know it firsthand. Many times we myopically focus on the diagnosis and we've forgotten all the other things that are going on in our body. So to me, addressing the underlying biochemical issues, like we talked about, if there's issues with your microbiome, like the issues of your gut, maybe you've got a parasite or a bacterial infection, maybe it's a food sensitivity like myself that you've had all along that no one's picked up. Maybe all the toxins, the environmental toxins that you're exposed to, you and your partner. We're in the middle of a huge toxic soup with plastics and herbicides and pesticides being sprayed on our food, which negatively impact our fertility. And then being able to have that spiritual side of things where it can help to reduce the panic. Like I've said this before on the podcast, I used to always see myself like banging my head against the wall and then like planning for A, B, C, and D, like all these different plans and not focusing on the thing like right in front of me, always trying to do something else. So it's interesting where if you see when it gets a little bit tough or a little uncomfortable, because looking at some of these emotions and digging into this sort of stuff, like, it's work and it's, but it's worth it to be able to have someone help you move through it. And someone we can't, obviously walk the exact walk that you have, but with someone who's been on the fertility journey. So understanding the triggers that are unique to this journey. That's why the team approach is that I've developed this Fab Fertile method, and really that team approach to help you optimize, all aspects of your life, a very holistic approach to this using a functional approach that, addresses missed healing opportunities that the conventional side of things just may not even have told you about. So if you wanted to learn more about our approach, you can book a call with me. The link is in the show notes. Take care. I regularly speak with 5 to 10 couples per week who are struggling to have their baby. And although we want to help everyone, we only have 4 spots available per month to work with us. I would like to invite you and your partner to a Supercharge Your Fertility Discovery Call. And this call is for you if you meet at least one of these criteria. You've been trying to get pregnant for at least 2 years. You've been through at least one failed IUI or IVF. This calls for action takers. If you're not ready and you wait, the risk is you'll need to wait 2 to 3 months for a spot to open up. If you're seriously considering working with us, go to Fab Fertile, F-A-B Fertile, and click on Book a Free Call. That's Fab Fertile, F-A-B Fertile, and click on Book a Free Call. Then you'll be all booked in and ready to spend 30 minutes to give you the action plan to getting pregnant naturally. You may be taking supplements that instead of optimizing your fertility, may be harming it. That's why we recommend professional grade supplements without harmful dyes, fillers, or top allergens. Simply go to Fab Fertile Store, that's FABfertilestore.com, to receive a 15% discount on our basic supplement recommendations for preconception health. That's FabFertilestore.com. The Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, including show notes and links, provides information with respect to healthy living, nutrition, lab testing, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Get Pregnant Naturally podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without representation or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified physician for medical advice and always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.